Movies about bikers always need two things: speed and attitude. Motorcycles themselves were developed in the 1880s and gained popularity in the First World War. For decades, bike gangs flourished. Then, shortly after the Second World War, the Hells Angels were established by merging several existing gangs, and bikers went on to terrorize good American citizens for decades to come. Even predating the Marlon Brando movie The Wild One was Carl Dreyer's They Caught the Ferry. Though not in any true way about the biker myth, it does feature some pretty good bike footage. Dreyer, the Danish auteur, best known for such deeply religious and austere films as The Passion of Joan of Arc and Day of Wrath, was asked to make a short PSA cautioning Danes against speeding. In the film, a man and a woman on a motorcycle arrive on the ferry to Assens. They want to catch the next ferry in Nyborg on the other side of the island. But this next ferry will leave in 3/4 of an hour, and the ferry berth is 70 kilometers away. They decide that they can make it if they drive fast. Why not? It's a stretch of country road, not too crowded, but not without some danger. The worst that could happen is a cattle crossing or an overturned vegetable cart. Dreyer defies our image of him as a staid and stuffy auteur by shooting and cutting this footage like it was a rock video from the 1980s. It looks like they might make it, except for this incident. They get stuck behind this weird truck that sports what looks like a rib cage painted on its back doors. The truck both accelerates and veers right and left, thwarting their attempts to pass. But when they finally do pass, we get a shot of the driver, a grimacing ghoul who seems like a vision of death itself. The couple lose control of the bike and slam into a tree. The last shot is of their coffins being loaded onto the very ferry they were trying to catch. Well, they were cautioned not to speed. In 1964, experimental gay filmmaker Kenneth Anger released Scorpio Rising. No dialogue, just images set to a variety of pop songs from the era. The motorcycle itself is an object of fetishistic worship, requiring care, cleaning, and grooming in order to be presentable. It gleams. The biker himself is all attitude, smoking and shaking a hank of hair off his forehead as he examines his work. Anger goes right for the heart of the matter by exploring the homoerotic aspects of bike culture. He seems to be saying that basically, bikers are playing dress up, trying to outdo each other with macho credibility. They associate their image with black leather, chains, smokes, tattoos, skulls, occult imagery, comic strips, bare chests. This is an all-male world, and a dark, dangerous one. Women may be present, but they are less important than the bikes or even the roads they travel on. Anger's innovations were to mix and match imagery. A Nazi symbol here, a Christian symbol there, a gay bit here, a violent bit there. The big laugh comes when Anger cross-cuts the biker going to a social event at the bike club with old-time footage of Christ and the apostles hanging out doing their thing. It clearly suggests the apostles, a group of guys who hung out together, were homos. And so are the bikers, although it seems likely that the men partying and frolicking naked in this scene were not actually bikers at all, just some of Anger's gay buddies in biker drag. There are flashes of penis, because cock is important to bike culture. One of them even keeps assaulting everyone with what looks like a fake dick, but with footage so blurry and overlit, it is hard to tell. The big shocking moment comes when some guy gets mustard dumped on his belly. Then the rest of the queens pull his pants off. Scorpio Rising ends with footage of a biker actually getting killed in an accident, which in hindsight is probably the most obscene image in this whole movie. With Scorpio Rising, homosexuality became an intrinsic part of bike culture, and vice versa. In 1967, Tom Laughlin directed Born Losers under the pseudonym T.C. Frank from a script written by the movie's star, Elizabeth James. It was based on a real incident in which members of the Hells Angels were arrested for rape in Monterey. Laughlin decided to use the film as an opportunity to introduce a character he had already written a decade previously, named Billy Jack. Billy, an Indian dude subject to all sorts of discrimination, was conceived after Laughlin witnessed the treatment of Native Americans in South Dakota. A bold move, it allowed Laughlin to tap into the concept of vigilante justice, setting off a wave of similar movies in the early 70s. In Born Losers, a campy-looking bike gang terrorized locals, including the spunky girl played by Elizabeth James, with short hair and white leather go-go boots. She drives her own motorcycle. Fierce. In the movie, Billy Jack is a peaceful Vietnam vet who cannot stand to witness bullying. When the gang comes to town and beat a motorist in full view of everyone, Billy can't help but step in and show them who's boss. Throughout, Billy Jack is referred to as an Indian. It makes him an outsider, and it aligns him with nature and justice. It also helps that the bikers pursue and kidnap the spunky girl in white leather go-go boots with maniacal determination. They take her to their clubhouse and force her to submit to their will. These bikers are pretty cute, and the whole movie has a horny vibe to it. Yes, it does have a homoerotic element. For instance, this bare-chested brawl at the gas station made me crazy when I saw it as a teenager. If bikers really did look this hot, then I wanted to join a bike gang too.
Somebody get the ape on a bike and get him up.
Danny, why'd you call me an ape?
'Cause you're cute.
This chain of events, in which Billy and the bikers keep going at each other, escalates until the end when Billy shoots the gang leader right between his beady little eyes. Even at the time, it was hard not to see the story as a criticism of colonization. The white boys are abusive and greedy and amoral, whereas the Indian and the girl are on the side of right. Of course, the movie is lots of fun, and it was a huge success, leading to 3 more Billy Jack sequels. And like Roger Corman's The Wild Angels, it clearly paved the way for movies like Easy Rider. It didn't take long for exploitation filmmakers to capitalize on the overwhelming success of Easy Rider, jumping on the bandwagon with such low-budget biker epics like The Wild Angels, The Wild Rebels, Angels from Hell, even The Miniskirt Mob, and She-Devils on Wheels. But you know they're stretching it when they start mixing genres and come up with something like Werewolves on Wheels. The bikers steal gasoline and terrorize roadside diners. Here, they decide to treat the pathetic half-wit who runs the gas station with a chance to have sex with one of their girls. I guess this counts as a charitable act, or maybe it was meant as payment for the gas. Meanwhile, the most sensitive and cosmic member of the bike gang runs around with tarot cards, reading fortunes and anticipating something dreadful.
That seems to be right on.
Later, they happen upon a monastery filled with evil, devil-worshipping monks who entrance them and feed them focaccia dipped in blood or something like that. After they all pass out, they kidnap the gang leader's girl, drug her up, and force her to dance naked with a snake and then later with a skull. The bikers wake up, get wise, and attack the defenseless monks. They reclaim the girl and hit the road.
All for one, one for all. Hey, that's what it's all about. That's our code, man. That's what we live by.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, you love me, don't you?
Oh, Mouse. Shit, yeah, man. I love you.
But that night, as they party, burning things, demonic forces are at work. When the girl and the leader go off to make love, she bites his nipple and then his neck. They both turn into werewolves and go on the attack. Later, the leader reveals himself as a werewolf on wheels to his gang, who fight back to save their own lives. They pursue this monster and eventually overtake him and set him on fire. Just when you thought the high concept stuff had run dry, along comes Pink Angels, a movie that continues in the direction established by Kenneth Anger's Scorpio Rising. It features 6 gay bikers of varying degrees of queeniness. They pose a threat as both lawless bikers and as predatory gay guys. These men are proud homos, and their biker status gives them an extra edge that they can use to fight discrimination and bigotry.
You also try one of these, they're very good, you know.
What do you think you're doing?
Nothing, I'm just talking to the boy. For God's sakes, what you getting so excited about?
Well, I'm sick and tired of you, you fickle Pringle.
Why don't you two fairies stop making a scene?
What? Oh, it's so lonely at the top.
Okay, I want everybody with their license in their hand. Move!
They aren't afraid of cops either, using sheer flamboyance to counteract machismo. Like bikers, they won't back down. But there are still lots of really dumb jokes in the movie. Like this one, for instance. After a brisk visit to a grocery store, where hijinks ensue, of course, they decide to have a nice dinner, going all out with the cutlery and the tablecloths and the candles. Obviously, these are the guys who invented glamping. Then they're visited by a rival gang made up of a bunch of dumb straight guys, including Macho Dan Haggerty, later famous as TV's Grizzly Adams. The queens don't hide who they are, but they do think it might be a good idea to accommodate all that testosterone by rounding up a few local hookers so the straight boys can all get laid. Then, once the straight guys are all passed out, the Pink Angels shave them and cover their faces with makeup and adorn them with ribbons and frills. Finally, the boys get into full drag and go out for an evening of fun.
I'd like a vodka martini.
Bloody, bloody Mary.
I'll take the same as Michelle. Thank you, darling.
Then all of a sudden the straight guys show up. Do they think the Pink Angels are real women, or are they all just playing along waiting for their revenge? They invite the Angels to a big house party. Now, throughout the entire movie, there were strange elements featuring a general in full military dress, denouncing hippies, likely shot as an afterthought. We realize at this point that the Pink Angels have come to the general's house for the party.
Now, you girls are going to have to...
What girls, honey? There are no girls.
When he meets them, he realizes that he now has 2 things in his grasp that he can hate: bikers and
faggots.
The movie's end shot shows the entire Pink Angels bike gang lynched, hanging from a big tree branch. It's a horrifying image, and it comes out of nowhere, destroying all the comedy and campy fun that came before it. Few cities in North America felt the scourge of the biker wars more than Montreal, Quebec. In that city, a child was killed in a crossfire as the leader of that chapter's Hells Angels, nicknamed Mom Boucher, waged an all-out war on rival gang The Rock Machine from 1994 to 2002. From this hell comes Hochelaga, the story of a young pretender who falls into the lifestyle and pays dearly for it. Mark is a cute guy in Montreal. He and his friends hang out at the same clubs as the Angels. His mother, former biker chick, knows better. She knows that they will destroy his innocence and maybe more, but he ignores her concerns. He's initially hired by the Angels to drive some hookers to a gathering in the country, and while there, he falls in love with the whole scene. Unfortunately, it is obvious that he just doesn't have what it takes. Back in town, he and his buddy Nose get together and do drugs with some girls and have sex. Nose is an even more desperate wannabe than Mark. The drugs freak them both out, and Mark has a vision of Goya's Saturn devouring his children come to life. Then, rather stupidly, Nose gets a tattoo of the Angels logo on his bicep. This is a huge no-no that will come back to haunt him. Then Mark has to prove his worth by planting a bomb under a rival's car. But when it comes time to detonate, it fails. In frustration, the assassin demands that Mark drive him to the target, who is pumped full of bullets on a residential street in daylight. Anything to get the job done. Mark's boss gets wind of Nose's ill-advised tattoo, and Nose is held down while they scrape off that layer of skin with a kitchen implement. The rival gang use Nose's humiliation to turn him into an assassin, and Nose shows up at the clubhouse and shoots Mark's boss to death. Needless to say, Nose does not survive the incident. Finally reaching his dark night of the soul, Mark goes to a gay bathhouse and buys out the whole place so he can sit around in a hot tub and recall all the drama that has been taking place in his life. The actor playing Mark, Dominique Darsoul, is certainly nice to look at, and as a gay man, I can't help wondering why the director would have shot this scene so clearly homoerotic in intent. Finally, Mark is set up to assassinate the rival boss, and he does so. The whole thing is well set up. Mark is wearing a motorcycle helmet to conceal his identity, and immediately after the shooting, he zips off into the night. Cleverly, he drives the bike up a ramp into the back of a delivery truck. But then Mark realizes that he was set up. Having done the hit, he himself is now collateral damage. His old buddy the assassin has one more hit to complete. Mark's mother had been right all along.